Оголошується хвилина мовчання за загиблими у цій жахливій війні. Who died in this terrible war. Прошу сідати.
Please take your seats. The floor is given to the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal.
Dear Madam President of the European Commission, dear Ursula, distinguished members of the European Commission, dear colleagues, members of the government of Ukraine, first and foremost, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome our European friends here in Kyiv. Your visit today carries great importance and symbolism. It takes place on the third anniversary of Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It is a clear expression of solidarity and belief in our shared European future. It sends a powerful message of the unwavering support of the European Union for Ukraine. Over these past 3 years, Russia has systematically attempted to destroy the principles that formed Europe's security architecture for decades. Yet, this aggression has never been directed at Ukraine alone. It represents a test for the whole Europe, for its unity, its capacity to defend its core values and its very future. Whether we like it or not, we now live in an entirely new world, a world that offers no room for passivity or silence. We face a critical choice. Either we proactively shape our new reality, or it will be shaped for us. Europe must become a continent of action. Therefore, the issue we face today is not merely about war and peace, sanctions or military assistance. It is fundamentally about the future of the European continent itself. Dear friends, dear colleagues, for 11 years, Ukrainians have shed their blood for the very values upon which the European Union was founded. For us, Europe is more than geography or an economic bloc. It is a civilizational, it is existential choice. It represents the primacy of law over brute force and humanity at the center of all policies. Today, however, our fight extends far beyond Ukraine's borders. Every meter of Ukrainian land defended by our brave soldiers is a meter of European freedom preserved. That is why today here in Kyiv we must state clearly Ukraine's security is Europe's security. We do not ask you, our partners, to fight in our place, but we ask you never to forget what we are fighting for. That is precisely why Ukrainians' integration into the European Union cannot remain a distant goal. It must become a reality, not someday, but now. We firmly believe that Ukraine's EU membership is more than a moral imperative. It also offers practical solutions to the strategic challenges Europe is facing today. Ukraine can become the strategic response to the threats and challenges highlighted by President Ursula von der Leyen last month when she introduced the EU Competitiveness Compass. Ukraine can be Europe's strategic pillar in defense, energy and technological sectors. Europe urgently needs an army capable of defending its own home, and we are ready to be at the very heart of this army. Ukraine offers unique combat experience, cutting-edge military technologies ranging from drones to cybersecurity, and human capital that has already demonstrated extraordinary resilience and professionalism. The development of our military tech can be the catalyst for a new European defense strategy. Our defense industry is already producing armored vehicles, air defense system, ammunition, and all types of drones that are reshaping the course of modern war and modern warfare. Joint projects in defense, manufacturing will significantly modernize Europe's military capabilities, reduce costs, and increase the scale and quality of production. The era of security-free rigging has ended. It's time to invest actively in our collective defense capabilities. Yet, security goes beyond military strengths alone. It also includes energy independence, it is critical raw materials autonomy, it is leadership in advanced technologies. That is why today we offer Europe not only our courage and battlefield experience, but tangible strategic advantages, energy resources, critical minerals such as lithium, titanium, uranium, natural gas, hydrogens, as well as food security, nearshoring, opportunities and technological synergy. Our renewable energy potential will help EU achieve its ambitious climate goals. Our gas storage capacities can serve as a reliable reserve in times of crisis. Ukraine holds Europe's second largest natural gas reserve. Ukraine is one of the European leaders in digital transformation and IT innovations, both in public administration and the private sector. Our unique digital solutions can increase the EU efficiency and improve access to public services for European citizens. Economically, Ukraine can serve as a competitive manufacturing hub for Europe, leveraging our skilled workforce and strategic logistics. Ukraine's reconstruction offers European companies profitable investment opportunities, stimulating economic growth across the continent. Recent estimates suggest the recovery will cost around 500 billion euros. Rebuilding Ukraine can become Europe's magnum opus, uniting and strengthening our entire continent. Therefore, today I address you not just with words of gratitude, but also with specific calls to action that Europe urgently needs. Firstly, Ukraine's integration into the European Union must accelerate. We urge you to review existing procedures and open negotiations at the same time across all clusters, all 6 clusters, I would say. Ukraine is fully prepared to move forward, to reform decisively and to become an EU member, but this journey requires your strong determination and political courage. Secondly, the time has come for a new Europe, a Europe that is not afraid to hold the torch of freedom in one hand and a sword in the other. We call for increased defense manufacturing and propose investment in the rapidly growing Ukrainian defense industry. We must extend the so-called Danish model when partners invest directly into Ukraine's defense industry. We must integrate Ukraine's defense production into the EU supply chains. We need greater military support for Ukraine now. Thirdly, we propose accelerating Ukraine's integration into EU's single market and deepening our sectoral integration. Further liberalization of trade based on ambitious, sustainable solutions will benefit all of us. Further integration of Ukraine into the European transport space and effective connections to the TEN-T network will benefit all our countries. We also propose to deepen energy market integration. We urge the EU to establish a strategic European gas reserve, leveraging Ukraine's extensive gas storage facilities as a key stabilizing element for the European energy market. Fourthly, rebuilding Ukraine will require massive financial resources. We firmly believe that frozen Russian assets should serve as a financial cornerstone and primarily resource for our reconstruction. The moment has come to confiscate these assets. Such a decision is entirely legitimate, and now is the time to crystallize a clear legal framework. Dear colleagues, dear friends, dear Ursula, we are deeply grateful to the European Union for your unwavering support, financial assistance, weapons, humanitarian aid, and sanctions against the aggressor. We thank each European country that has chosen not just to express solidarity but to actively act. We thank every European nation who has declared we stand with Ukraine. Allow me to extend special gratitude to the European Commission and personally to you, dear Ursula, for your strategic leadership, your belief in Ukraine and your courageous decisions which continue to give us hope, real hope for our mutual victory. Thank you so much. Now is the moment for a Europe ready to take action. Now is the moment for a Europe capable of protecting itself. Now is the moment for a strong Europe in which Ukraine fully takes its rightful place. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for your support. Together we will build a new Europe. Together we will win. Glory to Europe. Slava Ukraini. Thank you. So, dear colleagues, let me give the floor, Madam President of European Commission, dear Ursula, please.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister, dear Denis, Excellencies, dear colleagues, my dear friends. Today marks a very bleak anniversary. It's 3 years of war and destruction, 3 years of senseless human tragedies, but also 3 years of unbelievable courage, incredible resilience, and remarkable bravery from the Ukrainian people. All of the Ukrainian people. And I speak on behalf of all my colleagues when I express here today, dear Denis, our deepest and most sincere admiration. Admiration for how you continue to resist to Russia's attack. Admiration also for all that you have achieved in midst of this atrocious war and absolute chaos. All the reforms that you have already passed, heavy reforms, difficult reforms, while you are fighting a war, and the efforts you are undertaking to join our union, we are deeply impressed by what you are delivering at lightning speed. And we will continue to support you on that path towards the European Union membership. Any way possible, our commitment to Ukraine is and will remain unwavering. What is at stake is not only Ukraine's right to exist as a free nation, but also the future of our European continent. Our message is very clear. We support all diplomatic efforts that include you. We endorse negotiations that lead to a just and lasting peace. And we will back a peace agreement that takes into account your interests. And in the same vein, our position towards Russia is equally rock solid. We will continue to intensify pressure against Russia and its war machine through our unprecedented economic sanctions. And we will continue to hold Russia responsible and accountable for the many crimes it has committed. We will not forget Bucha. I personally will never forget Bucha. I was there days after the mass killing, and I remember we met there for the first time. We will never forget Mariupol and so many other atrocities. Ukraine can count on us. And today you have here my college in Kyiv with you. We will now discuss all the steps we are taking to shape our common future. First, of course, we will look at the accession to the European Union. We are working hard together to open negotiations on clusters in the first half of 2025. And we are already integrating Ukraine into the EU's internal market, an important step forward, so that your efforts to join our union are already rewarded this year. As an example, the integration of Ukraine, for example, into the European Union's Rome like at home, specifically for the young people, they love it always when we finally make it. But also the early EU market accession for Ukrainian industrial products, so that we open already sectors of the single market for your products to come to the single market, the growth plan that we have together. Second, we also want to boost our cooperation on defense. And here it's the other way around. We can learn a lot from you. Ukraine has a highly innovative and thriving defense industry. It's impressive to see how fast you have learned, the impressive startups you have with young people who are producing, for example, drones cheaper, faster, and more intelligent. So we are learning from you, and therefore we will increase our support through the EU Defence Innovation Office that we have in Kyiv, and work on integrating the Ukrainian defence industry into the European defence ecosystem. But this also really means that our industry is coming to Ukraine to learn from the Ukrainian defence industry. Third, we will hold Russia accountable, as there won't be any lasting peace without justice. And this is why it is so important that we have made decisive progress in establishing a special tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. It has lasted a long time. From day one on, we've been working towards that goal. Fourth, we want greater energy security for both Ukraine and the European Union. We have prepared an ambitious package to that end, which we are bringing here today to Ukraine. We have worked very hard during this winter. Actually, it's not the first winter. We've also worked during the winter before to keep the lights on and the houses warm in Ukraine. And I really want to thank all of those who have been involved in this hard work, that you made it possible. Because I remember very well at the beginning of this winter, we were so worried that we would not be able, with all the targeted destruction by Russia of the energy infrastructure, to keep the energy system up and running. We have provided 1.8 gigawatt of energy, and up to today, knock on wood, we're doing fine. So a lot of thanks. This is due to your consistent work in this field, and a lot of thanks for that. But we are also looking forward. We want to fully integrate Ukraine's electricity market in our electricity market. We want to seize the full potential of Ukraine's vast gas storages, thus generating income for Ukraine. And of course, we want to invest in Ukraine's renewable energy capacity. And finally, we're supporting Ukraine. While we're supporting Ukraine, this is not only about the business, which is important, but it's mostly about people. And I'm thinking here of the 700,000 displaced Ukrainian children who pursue their education in schools across the European Union. I think about the Ukrainian students who could find a new learning environment thanks to Erasmus+. And I'm thinking about the 4.5 million Ukrainians who found safety across European member states, but who are longing to go back home. And for that, we need a just and lasting peace. And this is more than human capital we are speaking about. This is the people of Europe shaping their common European future together. So, dear Dennis, I look very much forward to have now a very productive exchange between the college and the government. And I have the pleasure to open the first cluster. We call it cluster 2.
First chapter.
Or the first chapter. That is EU accession, internal market integration and financial support. And dear Malta Koos, the Commissioner for Enlargement, where are you? There you are. You have the floor.